गुड मॉर्निंग एंड वेलकम टू गना शॉट. गना शॉट में आप सबका स्वागत है. So the question for the day is, what are these up guys up to? And that is what we're going to answer today. We're going to understand what's happening in Pakistan and how things are going to move ahead, because getting to know what's happening in Pakistan and what these guys are up to, you know, will help us handle our issues and our neighborhood better. In any case, what I have always been saying of late is very simple. It's a very simple thing that you sort out Pakistan today, and China, Bangladesh will get sorted out. And you have to have a plan for Pakistan. That is something which we have to understand then what Pakistan is up to. Right? I think many of us in our analysis are doing something stereotyped. We feel that Asim Munir is pulling off something, he's a deceiver and all that. He is a deceiver, there's no doubt about it. But his moves are quite open. And one of the most difficult things for human beings is to do is accept what is being shown to them. And this fellow has got no choice but to show. Everyone expects that, look, when that fellow shows white, you expect a black, but he's actually doing what he's showing white and proving white. That's the point. Okay. Let's get ahead with the whole story. Fundamentally, these two nuclear beggars, okay, they are monetizing the army using terror to Libya, their JF-17 sale, and Gaza. Right? Why? Because their economy is short. There's no economy left in Pakistan. And if Munir has to survive, the only way he can survive is to monetize the army. Will the army and his strategy and his global positioning revive the fortunes of Pakistan? That's a question mark. Because America doesn't have a great commitment here. It's not fighting any war, so it's not going to give money to, you know, Pakistan free of cost. So there will be a price he has to pay. China has never given money to anyone. China has always demanded its pound of flesh for every money, inch of money, or rather every penny it has given. So there's no succor there. And his experience of Opsindor indicates that he is pivoting away from China. It's subtle, but you have to understand it. You have to understand it. I will take back before I get into the current. 2 years back, this fellow's predecessor, Bajwa, he made a speech at a book fair or some strategic fair or something like that. He said, "Look, what can we do? We have to go away from you know we have to go towards China because the West is not giving us weapons. We have no choice." The West truly at that time didn't give anything to. They were in Pakistan was under sanctions. They were getting nothing from the West, and their existing deals with some of the Western nations were scrapped. So they had to go to China. Now they went to China, equipped themselves. Then option door, they got a solid slap. Let's not have any doubt about it. They know it internally, and that is why this fellow has gone back to USA. He's fallen at the feet of USA, and he's prepared to do whatever Trump is asking him to do. And he's maintaining, I wouldn't say, he's not keeping China at arm's length, but he's maintaining strategic ambiguity with China. He says, "Oh, I'm your friend, yeah, wo." But and China also is doing the same thing, but physically, they've not got anything from either China or USA, and they perceive their biggest threat is still India. There's no doubt about the way Pakistan army thinks. They feel they can handle Afghans, this, that, all that. But things are not so easy. So he feels the only way things can move ahead is by monetizing the army. And that is why he's flipped to Trump, and he's prepared to send people to Gaza based on past precedents. Presidents has through Ziaul Haq and Pervez Musharraf. But let's see why he's in this desperate situation. It is a desperate situation. And the desperate situation is in this article by Sakib Sharani, which says, it talks of the state of the economy. I am sorry that, yeah, the heading is not seen in this because the slide got shifted. But what does Shakib Sharani highlight in this? He is one of the respected economists of Pakistan. And incidentally, this is not something which has come out new. This is not something which has come out new. This article is of June 25. Okay. And in June 25, he laid out a dismal picture. Many of us missed it because today you can't access Dawn very easily. You have to use a devious method. And I do it, right? And so I saw this, left it, but now it's come back into focus because I think this is the crux of the situation. Why Asim Munir is doing all this. What does he say? There's a combination of declining real incomes with rising unemployment and poverty. It has meant that ordinary Pakistanis are in an economic distress as never before. 18 million Pakistanis are now unofficially unemployed, with a jobless rate at an unheard of 22%. 22% means 1 in 5 to 6 people are not employed. 1/6 of the population. Okay, right. 22% is a hell of a lot for a population of 250 to 260 million. That's about 50 million unemployed. Youth unemployment has hit an all-time high of 29%. 29% and 1 in 3 youths are not employed in Pakistan. Look, this is anger waiting to get onto the streets. I mean, let's not have any doubts about that. 45% of the population is now below economic waterline, below poverty water, they're in the below poverty rate. Okay. And of $4.2 a day, using a lower international poverty line of 3.6 $5 based on the 2017 PPP. An additional 12.8 million have been pushed into poverty since 2022. And which means, he says, a total of about 107 million Pakistanis are in abject poverty. And this coincides with Asim Munir's tenure. So please remember, so far no one has weaponized this aspect within Pakistan. And the guy who can weaponize it is in jail. But sooner or later, the facts will come on the ground. I mean, they know, but that will spill onto the streets. And that is Asim Munir's problem. Because when he came, he said, I'll give $10 billion investment. He went to Saudi Arabia, he went to Qatar, he went to Kuwait, he went to Bahrain, he went to UAE and said, you are my friends. I am the Hafiz. Please give me money. Everyone promised him. He came back and, he's made this SIFCs. SIFC has got into a problem. If you look at this, his economic trajectory, you'll know that he's failed. That SIFC has got nothing. So if SIFC has got nothing, all that nonsense of iron ore and those critical minerals and oil and all are all fake. Let's be very clear, it's all fake. I ore is there in Sendak and all that Rekodik, but when will it come out? Anybody's business with the way things are in. So he is in a huge economic mess. And after the 27th Amendment, everyone looks at him. They don't look at this clown, Shahbaz Sharif. He's irrelevant. Everyone is now looking at. So he's come to the focus. See, there are unintended consequences of power, and he's got there. Their real GDP growth from 22-23 is only 1.7%. And Shagib Sharani says this is the lowest 3-year average growth recorded since 1952. And it is well below the population growth rate. Their population is going at about 2.53. Because they're producing kids as if there's no tomorrow. And it's just barely about maybe 50 to 70% of the population growth rate. Any economic growth which is below the population rate, you can imagine that people are being born into poverty. Okay, all main engines of prosperity or growth in the economy have sputtered since 23. There's no industry. Industry is collapsed in Pakistan. With 1 in 2 Pakistan now below the poverty line. He's talking of 50%. And nearly 1 in 4 unemployed. The state of Pakistan's economy has never been as dismal, as worrisome over the past 3 years. This is a fact. This is the bottom line. Can you imagine 50% under the poverty line? He's talking. Okay? Right? So you don't agree with all what I put. You don't agree with the Dawn thing. Hear him. This is Shakib Sharwani. It's a 6-minute video. I will show you some parts. I've not had the time to edit it and all. But hear him. And then take a call. What is the actual state? Here it is. Let's go.
मईशत के बारे में खासतौर पे पिछले 4 साल में जो बदहाली हुई है मईशत में उसके बारे में एक बात करूँ नक्शा खींचूं एंड आई विल डू दैट बट मैं आल्सो उसको लिंक करूंगा एक तसलसल है अशरफिया की जो रूलिंग एलीट है एलीट कैप्चर है पाकिस्तान का उससे और जो हमारा पॉलिटिकल सीन है उससे ताकि आपको आइडिया हो जाए कि ये मईशत की बदहाली जो है ये सियासी बदहाली से जुदा नहीं है.
So he says, look, maishat ke badhali is not different from siyasat ka badhali. Okay? He's linked the problem of the governance and the economy. It's not different.
So that's really important to understand. तो पहले अगर मैं quickly बताऊं कि पिछले 4 साल में मईशत कहाँ खड़ी है तो मैं तकरीबन कोई 3.5 दहाई से मईशत को देख रहा हूँ, कवर कर रहा हूँ एक एनालिस्ट और कमेंटेटर के हैसियत से. तो इतनी मैंने बदहाली नहीं देखी है मईशत की मजमूई तौर पे और एक अफरादी तौर पे हर पाकिस्तानी. एंड सो लेट मी जस्ट गेट यू क्विकली थ्रू सम नंबर्स. वो तो आप सबके सामने है मईशत की बदहाली बट लेट मी जस्ट से अगर आप शरह नमू को देखें तो पिछले 3 साल में 2022-23 से लेके 2024-25 का जो औसतन शरह नमू है पाकिस्तान का वो 1.7% बनता है. ये पाकिस्तान की तारीख का सबसे कम तरीन शरह नमू है.
So he's talking of a growth of just 1.7% over the past 3 years, which is the worst in their history. Right?
कम किसी 3 साल के पीरियड में उसने नहीं ग्रो किया. पाकिस्तान में सरमायाकारी जो है वो स्पेशली जो प्राइवेट सेक्टर की सरमायाकारी है वो कम तरीन सतह पे आज बैठी है. पाकिस्तान में जो गुर्बत की सतह है जो 45% है वर्ल्ड बैंक की ज़ात शुमार के तहत वो इतनी बुलंद तरीन सिर्फ 1-2 साल का पीरियड था कोई 30-40 साल पहले उसको टच किया. ये बुलंद तरीन सतह पे है. पाकिस्तान में जो अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट रेट है यानी कि बेरोजगारी जो है वो पिछले 3 साल में जो पहुंची है वो 22% पे बैठी है, यानी कि इसको
So it's the same thing he's explaining. Why I got this is you should understand. I mean, the man who's speaking. I mean, if you go through this whole clip, what I put in that thing is there. So, which is actually rock bottom of Pakistan's economy for the past 52, from 1952. It says something. Is this going to improve? It will not improve. It's not going to improve. I mean, let's not have doubts about it. Okay, I'll not continue with this. Look at what Kaisar Bengali. This fellow is Kaisar Bengali, and he's another economist of Pakistan. He's a bit of a left-leaning economist. He's a leftist. Okay, and he has a pretty pessimistic view of Pakistan always. But look at what this man says. I mean, unless we understand the true state of Pakistan, you'll not understand why Asim Munir is doing what he is doing.
इस वक्त कराची में आपको मिडिल क्लास फैमिलीज मिलेगी सड़क पे पैसे मांगते हुए। मिडिल क्लास फैमिलीज, मियाँ बीवी और बच्चे, जिस तरह के उन्होंने कपड़े पहने होते हैं और जिस तरह के बच्चे होती है, आप अंदाजा लगा सकते हैं कि ये पढ़ी लिखी फैमिली है, बच्चे स्कूल में जाते हैं लेकिन सड़क पे पैसे मांग रहे होते हैं। मैं अपने एक्स कोलीग्स को जानता हूँ जो मेरे
He says middle class families in Karachi with children going to school are begging on the streets. Right? They're begging on the streets.
मेरे पुराने कोलीग्स रह चुके हैं, उनके घर गाड़ी खड़ी है लेकिन बस के किराए के पैसे नहीं है। ये हाल हमने अपने अवाम का बनाया है।
So it's in a bad shape. It's beyond bad. They have vehicles. I mean, he says, look, you heard it from him. And mind you, both Kaisar Bengali and Shakib Sharani are pretty well respected economists in Pakistan. Begging. Okay. And of course, this international beggar, look at him. You've forgotten this? Just about 2 months back, I showed it to everyone. What does he want? He's gone. Look, you must hear him, and then we'll understand.
This is not acceptable. This is not where humanity should be directed towards. It has to be mutual cooperation. If somebody thinks that countries like Pakistan, who are devastated, loans would be enough, that is not acceptable. It is something which is absolutely unacceptable, because loans over loans.
Pakistan is begging the international community for freebies. He says, we don't want loans. Loans are not acceptable. Loans over loans will only break our back. That's what he says.
Your back will break and you will never be able to stand up.
So, loans over loans, his back is going to break and he'll never stand up. It's a fact. Pakistan, if you see, connect all these dots. And this, mind you, this came out about 2 months back. I showed it in one of my shows. So when you do all this assessment, you know that Pakistan's economy is short. I mean, let's understand that first. And what's worse, these days, you find every second article which comes out on these issues that beggars are being sent out. There's a professional begging system in Pakistan. This is a nation of beggars. That's why they're nuclear and they're beggars. That's why I say nuclear beggars. We have to understand, because there is a huge connect between the state of the governance, the state of economy. That's what Shakib Sharani also said. Mahishat, or what that word for governance, dono badhali mein hai. Okay, can you imagine in a year 50,000 Pakistanis were deported from Saudi Arabia back in 1 year? I mean, they go there to beg. You have people within Karachi who are begging, middle class families. And I did a complete video on this begging of Pakistan. Why does Pakistan beg? For many reasons. We'll not go into it anymore. The fact is, what I'm trying to prove is that they are in a miserable state. Miserable is it is they're in a state beyond miserable. Okay. Now let's see what Asim Munir is up to. This is the base on which he is standing, and the base is shaky. So what does he do? I mean, we've heard that he's gone to Libya. He's gone to Libya and done a deal for JF-17. $4 billion. Look, $4 billion is not a great deal. Huh? This is not going to happen overnight. It's going to happen over a long time. But he's fishing, and he's positioned himself as someone. Pakistan is trying to position itself as a net security provider in this area, West Asia, Asia, nuclear. He'll come back with this whole story of nuclear. Why is his rhetoric everything? He's projecting something. Okay. And for the past 1 week, I've been seeing this. Something interesting happened yesterday. Right. And that's when I got into this whole story and I started scratching the surface and something came up. What is it? Yesterday evening or today morning, the Libyan army chief who was in Turkey going in a plane crashed and he died. I said, oh, well, if this fellow's gone, this deal is gone. Okay? I mean, just think. He goes, he does a deal, that whole video is viral all over the countryside, and this Libyan army chief dies. So I said, yeah, ye to damn good for India. Till my inquisitive mind went beyond that. Then what emerged? First, Libya is under an UN arms embargo. This is it. This is of May this year. And in May, they extended that arms embargo for 6 months more. Here is this country which is under an arms embargo. No one can sell arms to them, and Pakistan is selling arms. It's gone and done a fighter deal. Which world are we living in? What is this bloody UN? What is this? So this is the first story. Now the second thing is even for funny. After the death of Gaddafi, I mean, this is one new. That's why I went into these details. There are two factions which are ruling Libya. Just imagine, there are two factions which are ruling this country. One is in Tripoli, which is the traditional capital of Libya. It is led by Abdul Hamid Debie, recognized internationally, and it controls the West. This is the one which is a UN recognized government. And the air chief, their armed forces chief, the chief of army or whatever, who was killed in Turkey in an air crash, is of the recognized government. Now there's another government called GNS, which is in the east. It is led by Osama Hamad, backed by the House of Representatives and General Khalifa Haftar's Libyan National Army. So this fellow has gone. This is not the one which is officially recognized by UN. So Asim Munir has done a deal with this fellow. I mean, just think. Okay, he's done a deal with the rebel army which is not recognized by the UN with a country which is under arms embargo. Now, what do you do? This is what he's trying. He's so desperate. I mean, look, they're in a desperate state. And they can pay. Libyans can pay because they sell oil. And that's part of the dark fleet, GI fleet, war fleet. But they'll sell. It doesn't matter to them. Because there's a power struggle going on. Something like Sudan. Libya could be the next Sudan. I mean, that entire belt, Libya and Sudan. I mean, if you go back into the history, I mean, many of you won't know. But at one point of time, right, when that fellow was there, when Gaddafi was in chair and that Libyan dictator was there. He ruled for about 20 years. Both of them wanted to join together and make one country. Libya and Sudan wanted to become one country. I'm forgetting that guy's name. He was quite a character. And that guy from Sudan, he was actually Osama bin Laden's guru. And even BBC, the rotten BBC, did an interview on him also. I remember seeing it 20 years back. Not 20, now it's about 20, 30 years back. I mean, in that interview itself, one knew that, from all his years, terrorism is reeking out. Fumes coming out of terrorism. I mean, that's the kind of a scene there. And Gaddafi, everyone knows what Gaddafi was. And his chelas are fighting with them, and this fellow is going. So, can we do anything about it? Instead of, talking nonsense about many things, can we do anything constructive? Should the government of India do something constructive about it? Definitely. Can you go to the UN and complain against this deal? Has it been done? Can you go put it across to Netanyahu? Can you put it across and tell him to tell US? Can you put it across, lobby in the US that this is your friend whom you are sending to Gaza is now giving arms to another civil war which is going on there? And then he says, I'm a security provider here, and he starts quoting Quran out there as if he's the next Maulvi. Yeah, ये जो है ना असीम मुनीर, ये एक मुसलमान पंडित जी है. किसी पंडित से जाके फौज में ना पंडित जी होते हैं यूनिट में, वो जब भी कुछ बात करो वो they'll quote you महाभारत एंड ये वो रामायण एंड ऑल. वो अच्छा है, रामायण और महाभारत से हमें कोई ये नहीं है, हम तो प्रणाम करते हैं. बट ये नहीं कि you live by that महाभारत and रामायण, you'll die. But this fellow makes a virtue of quoting Quran everywhere. So a guy who's quoting Quran is going and is going completely against the UN resolutions. Is Pakistan that kind of a country? Haven't we? Why this opens a door? Can you bust it? Can you bust this deal on such grounds? Can you bust this deal on the JF-17, which is a useless aircraft? Why did the JF-17 they suffered JF-17 or JF-7 that didn't come only into the equation? Is there a scope for us to bust that deal with Libya? All you have to do is publish 100 newspaper articles about how that aircraft is useless, like the Chinese aircraft are useless. And can you use our own sources to scuttle that deal, Hima? I'm just giving ideas. Go to UN, go to this, go to that, everyone. Okay. So, a lot of things can be done, but I just thought I'll tell you what Asim Munir is up to. Then, of course, this classic thing. There's a lot of story about in Pakistan. And I hope some Pakistanis see what I'm saying. I'm sure they will. So, what is Pakistan up to in Gaza? How are they reached Gaza? Everything. There's a popular thing that, we have not been called to Gaza. We've been, all that. What does Rubio say? Okay. And we'll play this out and understand. Then we'll talk of it. Yeah.
With this gentleman with the white hair in the back. Yes, sir.
Ask you about Gaza. US wants Pakistan troops to be in Gaza. Has Has US got a consent from Pakistan that they will be sending their troops in Gaza for peace building and peacemaking?
Yeah. Well, look, in fairness to all the countries we've talked to about
So the question which is being asked is, has Pakistan given you a consent to be in Gaza, ye, wo, all that? Just see here what Rubio says.
being and having a presence on the ground, I think they want to know specifically, what the mandate, what the specific mandate it was, the funding mechanism looks like. So we're very grateful to Pakistan for their offer to be a part of it, or at least their offer to consider being a part of it. I think
So Pakistan has offered to be a part of this Gaza force. He's diplomatically saying they volunteered for it. Okay?
owe them a few more answers before we can ask anybody to firmly commit. But I feel very confident that we have a number of nation states acceptable to all sides in this who are willing to step forward and be a part of that stabilization force. And certainly, Pakistan is key if they agree to do so.
So he says there are a number of nations which have, come forth to be part of that international stabilization force, and Pakistan is key in this. So this fellow now is very clear. He's crawled up to Trump through that fellow and said, I'll do anything you want. You want troops in Gaza? I'll give you troops in Gaza. You want to use my air bases? You use my air bases. I'm sure in Operation Midnight Hammer, air bases were allowed. And US forces operated off Pakistani air bases. I'm very sure. I have no doubts at all. I have no doubts left. Okay. And now the time has come to send. How does he send? Because remember, last month, the TLP was up in arms. And he had to do a massacre of TLP and break TLP. About 100 odd people in TLP, the Tehrik-e-Labbaik Pakistan, were killed. It was hidden. Because a complete media blankout is there. And the media can only talk what the Pakistan army is prepared to talk. But the fact is that Pakistan has not recognized Israel so far. Nothing. The fact is they've always spoken against intervention in Gaza. Now they have to send troops to Gaza. So how does Asim Munir get out of this? He does it like what Pervez Musharraf did. So he comes out, he talks to the ulema. And when he talks to the ulema, he talks of many things, right? He doesn't justify as to why he's sending troops to Gaza. He does something else. And like the Asim Munir he is diverting the whole story in the name of religion. I don't know what's written in this Urdu thing, but here, he's given a speech and excerpts of that speech are come out in bits and pieces. Someone has put this out, which is a congregation of all. Let's hear, and then you'll understand what I'm talking of.
दुनिया के अंदर 57 इस्लामी मुल्क है, लेकिन अल्लाह ताला ने मुहाफिजीन हरमैन का जो शर्फ है वो पाकिस्तान को दिया कि वअल्लफ़त बैन क़ुलूबिहिम लौ अनफ़क़त मा फ़िल अर्ज़ि मा अल्लफ़त बैन क़ुलूबिहिम वलाकिन अल्लाह अल्लफ़ बैन। रियासत पाकिस्तान और रियासत तैयबा इनका पहले दिन से आपस में एक ताल्लुक है। वो 1400 साल पहले जो रियासत बनी थी कलमे की बुनियाद के ऊपर, तो उसके 1300 साल के बाद एक और रियासत बनी, वो भी कलमे की बुनियाद के ऊपर। और अल्लाह ताला ने इन दोनों रियासतों में इतनी ज्यादा ममासलत रखी कि दुनिया इस्लाम में और कोई ऐसी रियासत क्यों नहीं बनी कलमे की बुनियाद के ऊपर, सिर्फ वाहिद आपकी रियासत क्यों बनी कलमे की बुनियाद के ऊपर। रियासत तैयबा और रियासत पाकिस्तान, जिनके बनने की वजह एक, जिनका नाम एक, जिनका महीना एक, रमजान का महीना 27 रमजान मुबारक, जिनके बनने में हिजरत का उनसर शामिल, तो ये इतनी ज्यादा मुमासलत।
Look at the faces of these fellows who are wrapped, ulama guys. Look at this guy. See how happy he is that, that guy is ranting out all that about, the greatness of Pakistan, that Pakistan is just next to, the holiest of Muslims, the holiest of holy in the Muslim world. He's spinning a story. He had to get the ulama across to him.
اللہ تعالیٰ نے رکھی ہوئی ہے تو کسی وجہ سے رکھی ہوئی تھی، کیونکہ اللہ تعالیٰ نے ان کو جو ہے خادم الحرمین بنانا تھا اور ہمیں اللہ کے فضل سے محافظ الحرمین بنانا تھا. ایک ہو مسلم حرم کی پاسبانی کے لیے نیل کے ساحل سے لے کر تابخا کے کاشت تک.
Okay, that's that part he's enthused
اللہ تعالیٰ
everyone
نے
about
ہمیں
Pakistan.
کیا حکم دیا ہوا ہے؟
Look at this.
وَأَعِدُّوا لَهُم مَا اسْتَطَعْتُم مِّن قُوَّةٍ وَمِن رِّبَاطِ الْخَيْلِ تُرْهِبُونَ بِهِ عَدُوَّ اللَّهِ
So every half a minute he comes out with something which in Arabic, which even these fellows don't understand. Yeah, I don't think even the Libyans understand. Even with the Libyans, when he was speaking to them in English and coming out with quotes from Quran.
عَدُوَّكُمْ وَآخَرِينَ مِن دُونِكُمْ لَا تَعْلَمُونَهُمْ اللَّهُ يَعْلَمُ. اور تیار رکھو اپنی قوت ذرائع جنگ کے ساتھ تاکہ ہیبت طاری ہو جائے ان پر جو دشمن ہیں تمہارے اور اللہ کے، اور وہ جنہیں تم نہیں جانتے مگر اللہ جانتا ہے.
So he's talking of that, all about dushmans. You don't know who your enemies are. Allah knows. And Allah is mediating through Asim Munir. You see this, it's a psychological thing. He's convinced people. Look at this.
میرا خدا گواہ ہے یہ بنیان مرصوص میں اللہ کی مدد آئی.
So بنیان مرصوص میں اللہ کی مدد آئی، ہم نے محسوس کیا ہے. Allah knows what is best, who is good, what is a danger for Pakistan, and Allah is communicating it to me. That's the good thing he says. And they are happy,
اور
clapping.
ہم نے اللہ کی مدد آتے ہوئے دیکھی.
So اللہ کی مدد آتے ہوئے دیکھی. Okay?
کیا حکم دیا ہوا ہے؟ وَأَعِدُّوا لَهُم مَا اسْتَطَعْتُم مِّن قُوَّةٍ وَمِن اللَّهُ يَعْلَمُ. اور تیار رکھو اپنی قوت جانتا ہے ذرائع جنگ کے ساتھ تاکہ ہیبت طاری ہو جائے ان پر جو دشمن ہیں تمہارے اور اللہ کے، اور وہ جنہیں تم نہیں جانتے مگر اللہ جانتا ہے. میرا خدا گواہ ہے یہ بنیان مرصوص میں اللہ کی مدد آئی اور ہم نے اللہ کی مدد آتے ہوئے دیکھی، محسوس کی. وہی انصرکم اللہ فلا غالب لکم. ہم نے محسوس کیا. تو جو کہا ہوا ہے نا اس میں 100% حقیقت ہے کہ فضائے بدر پیدا کر فرشتے تیری نصرت کو اتر سکتے ہیں گردوں سے قطار اندر قطار. اب بھی صرف یہ کہ ہم نے اپنے طور طریقوں کو ٹھیک کرنا ہے بس. اور یہ
So he's convincing people that what we are going to do in Gaza is the will of God, or will of Allah. And Allah has communicated to him. Because he's putting it in that manner. That, all of us felt Allah's blessing on us and he has saved us in Bunyan Marsus. Okay.
یعنی مرصوص کے اندر یہ ہوا لا الہ الا اللہ وحدہ صدق وعدہ ونصر عبدہ وحزم الاحزاب وحدہ.
Now comes the
کسی
clincher.
بھی اسلامی ریاست کے اندر ریاست کے علاوہ کوئی جہاد کا حکم نہیں دے سکتا.
So, sorry.
تیری نصرت کو اتر سکتے ہیں گردوں سے، ہم نے اپنے طور طریقوں کو ٹھیک کرنا ہے بس. اور یہ بنیاد وَنَصَرَ عَبْدَهُ وَحَزَمَ الْأَحْزَابَ وَحْدَهُ. کسی بھی اسلامی ریاست کے اندر ریاست کے علاوہ کوئی جہاد کا حکم نہیں دے سکتا. اطیعوا اللہ واطیعوا الرسول واولو الامر منکم. اولو الامر کے مرضی کے بغیر، حکم کے بغیر کوئی جہاد کا جا.
So he says, ریاست میں کسی ریاست میں only the ریاست can give, fatwa for jihad. No one else can give. So that means he's going to give this is jihad, which is going to happen now. He is going to give the call for jihad, and none of them who are sitting in front can give. So he's connected a lot of things. He's playing on their religious thinking, and he's displaying his, being a Hafiz and all that. So he's connected with the ulema. Why? Because he is going to face difficulty at home. Political difficulties are looming on the horizon. He knows it. He's a risk taker. He's doing it.
नहीं दे सकता। अल्लाह के नबी की हदीस नहीं है कि वो मुसलमान नहीं जिसके हाथ और जुबान से किसी और मुसलमान का नुकसान हो। हमारे पाकिस्तानी जो बच्चे हैं उनका खून जो है अफगानिस्तान के हाथों नहीं बहाया जा रहा।
So now he is diverted in this this part about Afghanistan. So he's focused on Afghanistan. And there he is, why? Again, the psychological aspect of it. Because then he can justify what he is going to do in Gaza. He's going to, this is the justification which is going on. Okay, we'll just listen to the rest of the thing also.
आज जो है वो टीटीपी की तश्कीलें जो आती हैं उसमें से 70% अफगानी होते हैं। ये पाकिस्तान की कुर्बानियों का सिला आपको दिया जा रहा है और पाकिस्तान ने जो है इनको क्या कह रहा है, पाकिस्तान टीटीपी और पाकिस्तान में से किसी एक को आप चूज कर लें, एक को ले लें। तुझे
So please understand what this fellow is up to. He has conflated Allah with Pakistan and the holiest of places with Pakistan. He has conflated the will of Allah coming and helping them out. And now he is conflated that the Afghans are against us and we are fighting them with Allah's help. And if we can do that with Afghanistan, why shouldn't we do it with Gaza? The unspoken thing is, why can't we do it with Gaza? And politically, he's justifying whatever is happening. What he says, look, it's the Afghans who are now the heathen. They're not pure Muslims who are doing what they want with us. And we are bleeding. Implicit in this is he acknowledges that Pakistan is getting hit by Afghanistan. So if all this can be done, he can go there. That's the thing. See, understand what his game is playing. Now, here is this mouthpiece, ISPR. What does ISPR come out? Because there have been allegations of, in press, everything about Pakistan volunteering to send. So what does this fellow say? Here.
प्रोपेगेंडा किया जा रहा है कि फील्ड मार्शल ने ट्रंप को गजा में फौज भेजने के पेशकश की, जबकि हकीकत तो ये है कि ट्रंप ने खुद फील्ड मार्शल की तशरीफ में बाजू देकर ये पेशकश निकलवाई है।
So, okay, so that's what he says. अभी प्रोपेगेंडा फैला जा रहा है, फील्ड मार्शल ने जाके बोला ट्रंप को मैं वॉलंटियर करूंगा. And no, he's not done it. Trump is forcing him. So this game he's playing, the internal justification is something, the external thing is something. You see what Rubio is speaking. Why should Munir speak to all the ulema? Some part of the ulema are licking his feet. Everything is happening. That's how the justification is going. Think to go to Gaza. Now why is he has to go to Gaza. He's got no choice. Economically, they're short. No one is helping them. Whatever losses they have suffered during that Banyane Marsus, or rather Op Sindur, Allah has not helped them to cover it up. Allah has not given them, HQ-9 missiles again, or the radar systems and whatever aircraft they have lost. He's gone to Trump and Trump has told him, okay, I'll give you something. I'll give you Trump has dangled the carrot. He said, okay, I'll give you a package for F-16s. So he's dangled that carrot for F-16s. And he said, now go to Gaza. If that doesn't come, you don't forget it. Now he has to justify everything. That payment he has to make. And he can't get from anywhere. China will not give him anything. China will give him everything at a cost. So you see this game which is being played out, and for that he's using Afghans that if Afghans can do all this to us, we can do something to Gaza. He's not. That's the unspoken thing.
propaganda.
Okay, but unfortunately, in this whole game, this is where things are going awry. In comes Diesel, Maulana Diesel. Okay, Fazlur Rahman. This fellow is a very wily political operator. Very wily. He's got layers beyond Asim Munir. He survived everyone. He's already shot the first bow of or the first arrow of uncertainty. Though ostensibly Asim Munir is taking the ulama along, there is internal problem. Just listen to what this fellow says.
को तसलसल क्यों दिया? हम खत्म करना चाहते हैं, हमारे नजदीक सब कुछ खत्म हो चुका है, और वो कहते हैं नहीं, जिंदा है, जिंदा है। देहातों में छोटे मदरसों के अंदर जहाँ के गरीब मौलवी सब वहां पढ़ा रहा होता है, वहां पर उनका थानेदार जाता है, रौब दाब करके उनको खौफ में मुब्तला करता है, हरासा करता है, और फिर कहा जाता है आप पाकिस्तान को मदारिस्तान बनाना चाहते हैं। बाबा, हमने तो आपको नहीं कहा कि आपके हाथों से पाकिस्तान मसाइलिस्तान बन गया है। अगर हम कूचे कूचे में अपने पैसों
See, these chaps, all these guys are of the ulama. All this talk is happening after that talk by thing. So there's some internal churn going on in Pakistan.
से चंदों से मकतब खोलते हैं और मोहल्ले के बच्चों को अलिफ बे पढ़ाते हैं, नूरानी कायदा पढ़ाते हैं। हमारा तो सोसाइटी पे एहसान है, हम काम कर रहे हैं। आपको हमारा ये काम क्यों बुरा लग रहा है? हमने मुल्क के खिलाफ कौन सी बात की है? लेकिन मदारिस का वजूद बर्रे सगीर के अंदर, उसका वजह तो आप बने हैं, हम तो नहीं बने। हजरत शेखुल हिंद तो चले गए अलीगढ़ और उनसे कहा आओ इंसाफ एक करते हैं, वज़ीर नहीं मिली। हजरत मुफ्ती मोहम्मद शफी साहब रहमहुल्लाह 4 साल इंतजार करते रहे, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 5 साल तक, क्या आओ इंसाफ एक करते हैं। यहाँ न हिंदू है और न अंग्रेज, नहीं मानी गई उनकी जी। तो हमारी ब्यूरोक्रेसी, हमारी एस्टेब्लिशमेंट इस तकसीम की जिम्मेदार है, आज वो हमें जिम्मेदार कैसे करार दे रहे हैं? आए आज भी हमसे बात करना चाहते हैं तो बिस्मिल्लाह, हमने तो कभी शिद्दत इख्तियार नहीं की, बातचीत से मामला को तय करते हैं। हम भी अंग्रेजी उलूम के कायल हैं, हमारे बच्चों ने आपके बोर्ड में इम्तिहान दिए हैं और 3 साल तक मुसलसल टॉप करते आ रहे हैं। हमारा टैलेंट, उसका तो आप मुकाबला ही नहीं।
So all these guys are now rebelling against the authority of Islam, which is being taken away from them. But this doesn't end here. 2 minutes more, you'll understand the bigger picture also.
वो तसलसल क्यों दिया? हम खत्म कर रहे हैं।
Say, there's another guy who's spoken what he has to speak. Just listen to him.
लेकिन जो सबसे ज्यादा कुरान और सुन्नत से मुतसादिम बात उस 27वीं तरमीम में आई है, वो ये कि सदर ममलिकत और जो फौज के जो एजाजी ओहदे हैं, फील्ड मार्शल, और जो 2 नए ओहदे पैदा किए गए हैं, वो हर किस्म की ताजीरी कानून के तहत, किसी भी फौजदारी कानून के तहत उनको ताहयात उन पर कोई मुकदमा नहीं कायम हो सकता और न उनके ऊपर कोई कार्रवाई हो सकती है। ये एक ऐसा इकदाम है जिसकी कोई नजीर कम से कम मेरे इल्म में दसातीर आलम में नहीं। होता यह है कि जो सदर ममलिकत को तहफ़्फ़ुज़ दिया गया हमारे सन 1973 के आइन में, वो भी हमारे नजर में काबिल एतराज था और हमारा एतराज काबिल एतराज रिकॉर्ड पर है। लेकिन उसमें भी ये होता था कि अगर सदारत के दौरान कोई ताज़ीरी मुकदमा जारी हो तो उसको उसके मुद्दत सदारत के दौरान उस पर मुकदमा नहीं चलता था, लेकिन गवाहियां सब ब्लॉक कर ली जाती थी और अगर वो जब वो सदारत से माजूल हो तो
See, in this conference, the are coming out through the ulema and these Maulanas or Maulvis. Some stray things are coming out. Like this chap has questioned the 27th Amendment, constitutional amendment, where he's been given powers. There's a pushback.
लेकिन जो
Look again. Look at this chap. He talks of again. Maulana Diesel talks of Afghanistan. Listen to him.
कि पाकिस्तान को 78 साल से एक प्रो पाकिस्तान अफगानिस्तान चाहिए, जाहिर शाह से लेकर अशरफ गनी तक मुसलसल प्रो इंडियन अफगानिस्तान मौजूद है, प्रो पाकिस्तान अफगानिस्तान मौजूद नहीं है, सिवाय अमारत इस्लामिया के कि यही एक तबका है कि जिसको प्रो पाकिस्तान कहा जाता है। अगर वहां पर हुकूमत होगी तो अफगानिस्तान को एक प्रो पाकिस्तान अफगानिस्तान तस्वुर किया जाएगा। लेकिन एक मसले पर इख्तिलाफ हो गया, नाराजगी आ गई। अब नाराजगी उसके बाद आप वहां स्ट्राइक करें। जब काबुल पर आप बमबारी करेंगे तो जाहिर है कि ऐसा ही है जैसे कोई आपकी इस्लामाबाद में बमबारी करे, तो आखिरी हद हो जाती है ना। दूर दराज के इलाकों में अगर आप करते तो शायद कुछ बर्दाश्त हो जाती, तो वहां पर भी आपने कुछ कार्रवाइयां की। अगर आप कहते हैं, मेरे सवालात कि हमने अपने दुश्मन के मराकज पर स्ट्राइक किया है और आप इसको एक जायज बयानिया कहते हैं, तो हिंदुस्तान आपसे कहता है कि मैंने बहावलपुर में हमला किया है, मैंने मुरीदके में हमला किया है, मैंने कश्मीर में हमारे खिलाफ कार्रवाइयां करने वालों के मराकज पे हमले किए हैं। आप उस पर एतराज क्यों कर रहे हैं? और अगर आप उस पर एतराज करते हैं और इधर से आपका यही इल्जाम अफगानिस्तान के हवाले से है, दोनों में आप कैसे मुताबिकत पैदा करेंगे? या आप उसको सपोर्ट करेंगे या अपने आप को गलत करेंगे। नंबर एक। दूसरा ये कि ईरान के बारे में आपने कहा कि बलोचिस्तान के अंदर जो कुछ हो रहा है उसके मराकज ईरान में है, और आपने ईरान में जाकर स्ट्राइक किया, और उसके बदले में अगर ईरान ने आपके इलाके में स्ट्राइक किया और आपने कहा कि वहां पर हमारे दुश्मनों के मराकज हैं। अब बात यह है कि मौक़िफ़ एक अफगानिस्तान के बारे में भी और ईरान के बारे में भी, लेकिन रवैये में फर्क क्यों? इसलिए कि ईरान की हुकूमत एस्टेब्लिश्ड है और अभी दुनिया उसको उखाड़ने की हिम्मत नहीं कर रही, और अफगानिस्तान की हुकूमत आपको गैर मुस्तहकम नजर आ रही है, लिहाजा उधर रवैया और उधर रवैया और। तो ये जो दुनिया में रवैये आप अपना रहे हैं उस पर सवालात उठ रहे हैं, और हमें उस हवाले से एक मुतवाज़िन राय देनी हो। अफगानिस्तान से पहले इन्होंने जो 18 साल से कम उम्र की बात की है, अब उलमाए किराम हैं, इतनी मज़हब का खेज का।
So there is a pushback. I've taken the trouble of showing these 3 clips a little longer. There's a pushback within Pakistan. It's happening. And this fellow is sending troops to Gaza. If he doesn't send troops to Gaza, he's stuck. If he sends, he's got problems. So, what do? There's yet another thing. Forget about this. Look at this. I showed it yesterday or day before also. Whatever is happening in Bangladesh, there is a domino effect which is going to happen in Pakistan. It's happening. There are undercurrents in Pakistan. How he is going to control that, we'll see. But listen to this first.
जी अस्सलाम वालेकुम सर। इस वक्त बांग्लादेश में उस्मान हादी नामी नौजवान क़यादत का कत्ल हुआ, उसको मार दिया गया, उसे शहीद कर दिया गया, करोड़ों का मजमू। जी अस्सलाम वालेकुम सर। इस वक्त बांग्लादेश में उस्मान हादी नामी नौजवान क़यादत का कत्ल हुआ, उसको मार दिया गया, उसे शहीद कर दिया गया, करोड़ों का मजमू, लाखों करोड़ों का मजमू उसके जनाजे में शिरकत के लिए बेशुमार जगहों पे आगे लगी हुई है, घराव हो रहा है, तोड़फोड़ हो रही है, एहतजाज हो रहा है उसके कत्ल के लिए के बारे में। इस वक्त पाकिस्तान की एस्टैब्लिशमेंट सारे मामले को बड़े गौर से देख रही है, बड़े गौर से देख रही है। वो देख रही है कि अगर हम इमरान खान को एलिमिनेट करेंगे तो क्या होगा, कितने दिन तक होगा, कैसे कैसे होगा और कहां कहां होगा। लेकिन मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि पाकिस्तान की अवाम इसको कैसे देख रही है? पाकिस्तान की अवाम ये चाह रही है कि इस वक्त हम इमरान खान का एक जनाजा उठाएंगे, या इमरान खान के साथ कदम शाना बशाना खड़े होके हम इस निजाम के खिलाफ जंग लड़ेंगे और इस निजाम का जनाजा उठाएंगे। मैं ये समझता हूं कि पाकिस्तान की आवाम को इससे ज्यादा बेहतरीन मौका शायद कभी नहीं मिलेगा, क्योंकि इमरान खान के 2 मैसेजेस थे जिसका मैंने आगे भी जिक्र किया है, मैं मार दिया जाऊं या गिरफ्तार कर दिया जाऊं, निजाम को आपने एक्सेप्ट नहीं करना। फिर इमरान खान ने कहा था कि आजादी छीन के लेनी पड़ती है, प्लेट में आके को नहीं देता। और आज इमरान खान ये फरमा रहे हैं, इमरान खान साहब का ये मैसेज है कि मैं शहादत के लिए तैयार हूं। अब सोचना यह है कि पाकिस्तान की आवाम तैयार है, क्या पाकिस्तान की आवाम अपनी इस जिद्दोजहद के लिए तैयार है, या हम जनाजे उठाएंगे? हमें इससे ज्यादा अच्छा मौका नहीं मिलेगा जब इमरान खान खुद कह रहा है कि मैं शहादत के लिए तैयार हूं, मतलब ये है कि जिद्दोजहद के लिए तैयार हूं, आप बाहर आए। ये मौका है कि आप बाहर आ जाए, इससे पहले कि आपके जनाजे उठाए जाएं, इससे पहले कि आप लोगों के जनाजे उठाए जाएं, आपको इस पूरे निजाम का जनाजा उठाना, इस पूरे सिस्टम का जनाजा उठाना।
So there are problems. There are problems for Asim Munir. Okay, it's on the social media. Their economy is in dumps. There's no doubt about it. This fellow is treading on thin ice as far as internally with Afghanistan. You can see from all that the domino effect of Bangladesh and the effect of sending people to Gaza. The thing to sending people to Gaza. So when we think Pakistan is interfering in Bangladesh and this and that we can't do anything. Here it is. You can do so many things. You can scuttle that deal with Libya. You can finger him through Afghanistan. Now it is very clear that he is completely against Afghanistan. He is motivating people to go against Afghanistan. But people within Pakistan are not for it. And why I showed Maulana Diesel? Very simple. He doesn't have parliamentary power, but he's got street power. And he's a very wily political operator. He's going to corner this fellow. He's cornered him many times for his personal thing. In fact, the 26th amendment, it was Maulana Diesel who watered down that amendment. And this fellow had to wait another 6 months to get the 27th amendment in. I mean, if you follow Pakistani politics, that chap is a politician, completely out and out politician. So you find this thing which is going to happen. The ground under Pakistan is not stable. So the question for us is what? What do you do? Do you want to be quiet or you want to be proactive? And at this point of time, just strategic communication will do the trick. You don't have to commit anything. Just strategic communication, political outreach to POJK will do the trick. Are we doing it? Are we thinking? Can Imran Khan might be a spent force politically. He might be in an isolated cell. He might die. A dead Imran Khan is a problem for this fellow. Alive Imran Khan is a problem for this fellow. Imran Khan, like Bhutto and all others, will never be a political force in Pakistan again. And this fellow will never let him happen that. Neither are Pakistanis. See, there's another important thing which I have now come to realize. The Pakistanis are feckless guys. They are prepared to beg. The Pakistanis will go and beg in Saudi Arabia. They will go and beg in the streets of Karachi, but they will not stand up for their own rights. When their own rights have been usurped by this chap, their own guy, they'll not stand up for it. They're funkless guys. दम नहीं है पाकिस्तान के अंदर. This is the Pakistan you're dealing with. You need to think. That's why I say you need to deal with Pakistan politically, not militarily. Militarily, though, every time you deal with them militarily, they'll come back stronger politically. Right. That's all I have. It's a rather different kind of a thing from what we've discussed yesterday. I've taken you off on a bit of a tangent, but so be it. If you like this video, press that like button. Also, subscribe to Gunner Shot. Press that bell icon so that you get notifications and join me as a member. I'll be more than happy. And you'll benefit. because the discussions we're going to have here are going to be far different from the normal. Okay, so let me take some questions. Half an hour or so we'll take questions. I mean, 15-20 minutes at least, and then we'll see where we go. Akash, good morning. Ladybird Haru, good morning. Kiran, also good morning. Yakushchik, good morning. And yeah, Dhanashekharan, good morning. Yeah, Krishnamurthy, good morning. Yeah, different question. PIA bought off by Arif Habib Group with privatization. We'll talk of this separately. If you don't mind. I'm not, yeah. Yeah, I explained this whole thing to you, Priyan, because there are connotations to this. Okay. Murli Krishnan, good morning. And yeah, immediately after commencing $4 billion arms deal, the Libyan army chief is wrapped in. I told you, don't look at it. The guy who died is the wrong chief. Huh? Yeah, I've explained this. Who done it? It seems Turkish implement. Yeah, we'll see that. Okay. Since I became Buddhist, real tripotic, looking inwards, I've become an objective Karwa such speaker. That's okay. That doesn't matter. KD Raya, good morning. Thanks a lot. India's philosophy of focusing only on development and eliminating poverty is facing headwind for not having offensive military and foreign policy, is it not? I wouldn't say we are facing a headwind because of not having a offensive military or foreign policy. We need to be a little more proactive. You need to have forward-leaning policy on foreign affairs and things. You can't let Pakistan run riot. As simple as that. Pakistan is now promoting Hania Amir as a gesture of soft power. Let's see. Yeah. Good evening from USA. Do you think nuclear threshold under erratic Munir has lowered for Pakistan? No. Nothing has happened. We don't have to do anything. We have to recalibrate our nuclear posture, everything, because of what China is doing rather than what this chap is doing. Yeah. Pak army monetization brings it visibly closer to its true nature. Munir has rammed regional politics into domestic economics. Does he know what he has done? He is very clear what he is doing. He has got no choice. His entire story is full of holes. And it is time that we started exploiting these holes. That's why today it's very up to you. See, I've spoken of religion at one end and economy at the other end, and how Asim Munir is handling it. If Pakistan's economy doesn't go better, it is going down and down, and one day people will be on the streets. At some point, ultimately, it's not politics which will bring people on the street, it's food which will bring people on the street. And if every day you're going to become more, go into poverty, there will be a day when you come onto the streets. That's the thing. My question is, best Pak is no Pak. I agree with you. But it's not so simple. You don't wish away 250 million people. Okay? Don't go. This is rhetoric to say, oh, best Pak is no Pakistan. You don't wish it away. If you have to ensure that the best Pak is no Pakistan, you have to do a lot of things politically. Have we done that? The answer is no. Israel launch successful? Oh yeah, must be. I've not read it. We'll get back to it. Begging also will run into a supply demand problem. I suppose so. Okay. Nuclear beggars. What a title. Yeah, it is. Namaskaram. Good morning and Jai Hind Vishwanathan. And okay. This means the deal is done by the West. See, this is what we have to analyze it further. We have to analyze it further. What are the currents between the two factions in Libya? See how things affect us. Yeah. Yeah, not only the title, the thumbnail is equally hilarious. Yeah, that's a fact, isn't it? Mm. Yeah, India and Pakistan must forget their differences and start a dialogue for a secular, united. Yeah, you're coming from a different planet. Yeah, just forget it. Any insights on Pak going around the small Islamic states and selling nuclear? No, I don't think they'll do that. They can't. They won't, because holding on to those nuclear thing is their reason for their existence. Is there a chance he's doing what the US wants? There's no choice. The only thing is question mark is in Libya. But the fact, remember, he's selling Chinese equipment to Libya. Will the US be happy about it? Yeah. Rambupal Reddy Gantla, thanks a lot. Jai Hind to you. And Sri Devika also, good morning. Okay. The Libyan army chief was killed in an air crash just a day. No, like I told you, they're two different chiefs. Please understand. The chief with which Asim Munir has made a deal is not the guy who's killed. The guy who's killed is from the opposite faction. Yeah, he just stopped himself calling. Yeah, short of calling himself God. On my way to Tawang. Oh, good. We'll make some good videos of the way on the way for you. Thanks a lot. Do that. It's horrible to think that a certain percentage of Indian Muslims will be influenced by Asim Munir's speeches. What can Indian securities do, sir? We can't play this game in the same way. Look, we have to do it in a different way. We have to find ways. On that, let's not have doubts. We must. We have no choice, actually. Right? He will pay heavily from Afghanistan. Well, let's see how it goes. The traditional ending of all Pakistani dictators is, we know 4 dictators, we know where they've gone. All their chiefs, no one stays in Pakistan. So the ending is very clear what will happen to this fellow. But the problem is, till then what? Yeah, when an Pak army general calls upon Allah, he is scared, Okay. Yeah, let's give all a hand to congratulate ISRO's successful launch of LV M3 M6 Bluebird 6, largest pair. Yeah, look, on that we are not had a doubt. Let me get to it and maybe we'll do what's the implication of all this. We'll work it out. General is trying to hard understand Maniac Munir. It's not understanding. You have to assess him. You have to see what he's going to do. I keep telling everyone, this is my favorite trick. I tell everyone the truth. They don't believe it. They are looking कि यार इसने कुछ बोला था, ये झूठ बोला होगा. And invariably I get my way. I do this. This is my habit. And I'm telling it to you now. You might not believe it also. Okay. This fellow is of that variety. Yeah, Pakistani defeated army looking for sustainable incoming dollars, so they won. Yeah, I agree with you. It's a fact. Asim Munir will end up like Zia. God bless your soul. Yeah, we should, with the rapidly changing policies, we should be cautious as Hafiz Munir can increase terror. Yeah, that's an issue which we have to think. Major, sir, you showed 2 Santas with. Look, first and foremost, why I showed is I'm not a major. Okay, I'm a general. Be clear when you address me as to what I am. I insist on it because this is a rank given to me by the government of India. You cannot be ignorant of your army people and your army leaders. Mm. Okay. What is India's role in this Jordan visit? Yeah, we'll talk of this slowly. The things are opening out soon. We'll see how it goes. Is there any way Pakistan will take Bangladesh people? It doesn't happen. Look, long back, many people from Pakistan, not Bangladesh, have tried to actually, and I'm not talking now, I'm going back to 91, 92. I'll give you an incident. You see, there's a border fence along the west. So there are places, earlier there was no border fence long back. But some places the border fence was there. So I remember there was one guy who was shot trying to cross the border fence opposite Ganganagar. This was 91, 92, I think, yeah. He was shot by our own BSF people. And then, I was posted there, I was the BM, so this whole thing had to come to me, it came to me. Then we realized that this fellow is a Bangladeshi. We tracked. This fellow had crossed Bangladesh, crossed Bihar, UP, Delhi, NCR, Rajasthan, and he comes and tries to cross there and gets shot. Then we went into details. This happened when I was just new into the thing and I was not aware of the local dynamics. Then you saw a whole lot of people trying to do it. The Pakistanis don't accept them. Pakistanis themselves don't accept them. There were cases when the BSF didn't shoot, the Pakistanis shot them down. Okay, they don't accept. Yeah, the system, administration, or establishment, call it whatever, it's DHA Rawalpindi only. The guy is calling for a protest against DHA. Will that ever happen? Will PACCOM ever do that? We'll see. We'll see. That is why I said there is something happening in Pakistan which is different. And that whole story is underpinned by their economy and their politics. I always say the strength of a country is its fundamental politics, people, and their economy. These are, you understand that, the rest you understand. Same thing I talk of China. China, you should understand the people and the politics. And of course, their economy is an outflow of the people and the politics. If you understand these three things, then you know. Okay. Thanks a lot, Neil Reddy Bala. Neil Reddy Ribala. Okay. Fine. Thanks a lot. I'm sorry I can't pronounce your names. You made it so complicated. So, but then thanks a lot for joining in. Now, what political options can we exercise on both East and West fronts given that China has a common element? Interesting question. I'm very clear about what we have to do with Pakistan. I've told you, politically, the crux of the matter lies in POJK and Gilgit-Baltistan. Do the political outreach there. Rest everything will follow. With Bangladesh, you have no political options. Let Bangladesh is in a frenzy, let it die down, and then we'll deal with them. Till then, just contain them. Yeah, it would be nice to, if you ask raw chiefs what they are up to. Should these political measures be tactical or strategic? Obviously strategic. No political measures are tactical, strategic. Ram Madhav was in charge of JNK for some time. A lecture by him inviting POJK to sit in JNK assembly openly will initiate the political tremors. I agree with you. But unfortunately, somewhere these chaps are not doing it. That's the crux. That's the center of gravity. Munir is digging his own grave. Let's see. There are two chaps contending, one grave, two chaps. One is this fellow, the other is Shahbaz Sharif. What's driving Munir? Is it religion or power? Power. Is there a potential China's role in the current destabilization? Completely. Completely. Don't rule them out only. Okay. Now let's. Is he selling used Chinese equipment to Libya? Possible. But let's see, we should scuttle that so that he doesn't get any revenue. You have to cut its revenue sources, basically. Yeah. I was loading oil in Algeria. Suddenly in the night, the sky was bursting with crackers. Captain informed that the local leader who was killed in opposition was celebrating. Crazy place, Middle East. Yeah, that's how it is. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I think we're done for the day. And today evening, I'm going to talk of Taiwan. Where Taiwan is heading. Can Taiwan be captured by China or not? Because from what I spoke last to now, things have changed. Taiwan has new constraints. China has new constraints. And the military equations have changed. So I'll talk of that in the evening. Join me at 8 o'clock. Till then, have a great day. Thank you all for joining again. I've given a different perspective, but this is a perspective which everyone must have about Pakistan. Their economy, religion, and the chef's plan. Because this will set the stage for more discussions. We'll talk as we go along. With this, thank you. Have a great day and Jai Hind to all of you.